Your information station, WTIM.
Good morning. You're listening to our WTIM Morning Show with Pana civic, business, and nonprofit leaders coming to you from our Taylorville studios. The WTIM Pana Morning Show, it's brought to you by our title sponsor and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. Along with your Pana Save-A-Lot, Pizza Man, Noren's Hardware, Bob Riding's Pana, the Nokomis Dairy Queen Pana Bowl, and the Okanee Chop Shop. I'm your host, Grayson Bauman. Our guest in this segment is Police Chief Daniel Bland of the Pana Police Department. Chief Bland, good morning to you, sir. How are you doing?
Good morning. Doing well. Good to be back.
Well, glad to have you here today, and a busy weekend for Pana, let alone having arguably the largest downstate Labor Day parade coming through town. But we had the Pana Tri-County Fair right along that same lines. And I'm just wondering, from your end of things, how did both of those two events go for Pana?
Yes, overall, both events went very well. A lot of people, a lot of additional traffic, visitors into our community, city area visiting, frequenting businesses, traveling the roadways. The fair overall, which the fairgrounds itself is just adjacent to our jurisdiction, but we're always connected with the sheriff's office on what goes on there. Good crowd, heard a lot of good positive feedback from the fairgrounds as far as how things went. The crowd, we had usually we're called out to assist if there's something needed there. We were not requested for assistance out there, which is a good thing. A lot of people visited there, and then the parade yesterday naturally leads up to a lot of preparation for just the additional traffic, people, pedestrian traffic, vehicle traffic, control of congested areas, things of that nature. Went very well. As also had a few minor incidents of traffic issues as far as crashes, minor things, which does frequently happen when you have a lot more people into a smaller area. But yet, overall, those events went very well. Been a busy month with just dealing with events and people and crowds and crime prevention and readiness from our agency to provide protection to those that are living or visiting our city.
Well, and from what I've heard, I mean, we could expect upwards of 11,000, 12,000 folks coming in for that. What does that mean for the Pana Police Department? You're used to, say, 5,500-ish or so people, obviously some visitors sprinkled in as well, but then you add that many folks on top of it. What does that preparation look like?
Well, it's a lot goes into just getting ready as far as, for one, staffing. Naturally, everybody from our agency is working. We call in support from the sheriff's office. We have auxiliary officers, those that are are trained and have the certification required now. Much different than years ago, where a lot of agencies, whether reserves or auxiliary, you had men and women who just volunteered their time. There's been restrictions placed on that because of liability issues. So naturally, staffing is a major concern. Once we get staffing to what we can have available, then we start targeting just planning for traffic and control, and then just we try to monitor. We can connect with agencies that try to monitor any type of threat action, threat assessment. All that goes into play as far as just anytime you have a major gathering of people, it brings in additional concerns as far as what could happen, and we try to stay ahead of the thought process of what could happen, so we're ready. Naturally, when there's that many people into a small area, we have a lot of concerns trying to prevent things, be ready for quick responses. A lot goes into it, needless to say, but this year went very well. Had a few minor things that went on, but overall, very well.
Well, and I'm glad to hear things went very well. There was something that ended up not being a thing that you wanted to make mention of, and that was an individual on a rooftop. This is the first I'd heard of it. What a strange kind of time maybe to decide for that. And I'm just wondering what you can tell us about, hey, let's rethink some of those options and those thoughts.
Absolutely. So it was just initially on as the parade started, we received immediate information of a subject that was up on top of a roof downtown area. And ironically, the clothing this subject chose to wear, camouflage hat, camouflage jacket. All you could see is just the upper part of the pyramid over the top. And then initially it looked like he was recording, and which something of that nature, we responded immediately, addressed it, made contact up on the roof. And it naturally, thank goodness, it was an individual who hadn't thought out the process clearly as far as just what I should or shouldn't be doing to prevent public from being overly concerned or even creating some kind of a panic because of everything going on around our nation and this world. But this individual, yes, there was no harm done. We addressed it quickly, reported quickly, confronted, removed, no issues. But we definitely want the public to realize if anything out of the norm and that's out of the norm when you get on a rooftop downtown during a parade, to let us know ahead of time, to report, say, I'm going to be doing this, because otherwise we're going to target it aggressively, confront it quickly. But we want to know ahead of time, because people have the right to move. And this subject lived below the building, had access to it, totally legit. But it was just the first occurrence in many, many, many years here in town for the parade for that to happen. So everything worked out well. Just we want to remind the public, if they're going to do something like that, just to help us and society keep from having something to worry about, give us a heads up so we're aware of it and we know what's going on and we can share that information or know what's going on as soon as we get it reported.
No doubt, and a testament to your guys and to your unit, but also to the community too, to be looking out for not only their families but also for others too. I can 100% see why a phone call might be placed for that. That's kind of a look at the Labor Day parade, the Pana Tri-County Fair, and how things went from your end and how well they went. Glad to hear all of those things, but you've got some stats to share with us as well in terms of crime prevention and calls. What can you tell us about from the month of July?
Yeah, overall, the month of July, even into August, our numbers were down, which normally in the summertime, your numbers increase. Our calls for service were down in areas that normally we see an effect on, thefts and burglaries, car thefts, things that the victims of crimes really have a major impact on. Those numbers are down through the summer, which is a very good thing. Naturally, we try to target the cause of those crimes. So we're happy with the numbers. Naturally, we did see a slight uptick in domestic calls, violation of order protection calls, things of that nature where we think, I don't know whether it's the heat that we went through, the financial struggles some families are going through, just relationship issues and things. We did see an uptick in the domestic calls, which are a dangerous call for us because they're very volatile, can change at any moment, but we saw an uptick slightly in that. But as comparable to previous years, we like to see numbers of calls for service down when there's victims to crimes, which is ultimately our goal, and we want to continue to work to keep those numbers down or attack areas where they increase. Naturally, we still have drug concerns and issues that we're targeting. There's some arrests made over the last couple of months in those areas, trying to just deter, remove the toxic drugs that are still impactful in all the cities around. But we're happy overall, with the numbers, and we hope they continue, but we're going to stay vigilant and flexible on what's needed to address those issues.
Yeah, it's great to hear that there has been a decline in calls and requests, obviously not in certain areas, but when it comes to just the overall numbers for the month of July into August to be kind of on a downturn is really a great thing to see. You mentioned something there that we want to hit on here today as well, recovering and some of those recovery stories as well, why some of those drugs are so impactful on the community and the major crimes that also can be caused with the use of those. What can you tell us in terms of some of those big recovery stories that you wanted to highlight here with our listeners?
Yeah, every month or whenever we can, we like to share, positive stories of recovery because, it has such an impact on our city, those that are struggling and in that world of, just criminal activity and supporting bad habits. But when you do see positive stories, and just recently, there's two individuals that have made a recovery. One individual in particular, absolutely was just a struggle in our community, caused issues regularly, whether it was thefts or fighting or you name it, it was a problem, regular repeat offender, we would call them. And this subject entered into recovery, successful. He no longer lives in our area, relocated, but he's back in our area now, making an impact on others who are in that same struggle that this individual is in. And just over the weekend, I saw 2 different individuals that have made some major changes. And when a small community like Pana is, it doesn't take but just so many, just a small number of people to create, chaos and thefts and just turn our city sometimes upside down with just activity and negative attention. And when you see people recover and share stories and testimony and of their recovery and change, it gives us an encouragement to continue to work with the recovery units, the safe passage programs. There's a new ownership of the Well downtown, which is an outreach support group. We sometimes lack the aftercare support groups that other cities have when they come back out of recovery. As far as the rehabilitation portion, we're trying to add more services, but lately, man, we've seen some great stories. We've Stacy Schallenberger with Support and Safe Passage and her ministries worked hard the last couple months on multiple intakes again. Some of them are repeat offenders, but sometimes it takes that second, third opportunity to get in and to make that change. But she stayed active. We stayed active. We're trying to connect with the Well downtown to direct those that are struggling, so they're not out committing crimes and stealing, to support their needs, to find resources, answers, the overall big picture. But man, there's some impactful stories that was just encouraged me personally to see people that we dealt with over and over and over causing just chaos turn their life around and now out helping others. It's encouraging to see.
And what a unique experience for that individual too. Sometimes you do need to get away from your setting and your surroundings to be able to kind of make that change, but then to come back and say, hey, I'm ready to help make a change in my community. That's great. And then also the Well and the Outreach Center was not aware of them. And I hopefully today, by getting some of that information out there, we let folks know that is available in Pana. So let's take ourselves a break. We're joined right now by Pana Police Chief Daniel Bland, joining us here by phone today on the WTIM Pana Morning Show. We'll come back and we'll talk more with him about the Pana Police Department and the likes of some other things, maybe double back down, and with school starting, you name it. We'll be right back with the WTIM Pana Morning Show here on your information station.
Your information station. WTIM.
This is Mason Crow with People's Bank and Trust, where customers have one consumer banker who knows them and provides the right financial services to achieve their financial goals. Your consumer banker is your single source for life's financial needs, from checking to consumer loans, from retirement accounts to mortgage loans, and everything in between. Call me at 888-PBT-1954. Bank with People's Bank and Trust so you can spend your time living your life, not explaining it. At People's Bank and Trust, we put people first. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Looking for food, fun, and bowling? Head to Pana Bowl. We've got open bowling every Friday and Saturday night, perfect for family fun or a night out with friends. Don't miss our Tuesday and Wednesday special, unlimited bowling from 5 to 10 p.m. for just $9. Feeling hungry? Our kitchen's cooking up favorites Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Visit PanaBowl.net or like us on Facebook for the latest deals and events. Pana Bowl, where the good times roll.
Dinner time just got easier with Pizza Man Pana. Enjoy great food that includes amazing pizza, tasty pasta, salad bar, and chili. On Monday nights, enjoy the spaghetti special with garlic bread and a side salad for $8. On Tuesday nights, come in for the lasagna special with garlic bread and a side salad for $9. On Wednesday nights, grab yourself an individual pizza and side salad for $9. Pizza Man Pana is proud to be serving Pana and the surrounding areas with great Italian food since 1985.
Summer means baseball, pool parties, and me time indulgence made better with delicious Prairie Farms flavored milk. Prairie Farms single-serve milk flavor options are unmatched. Try our irresistible peanut butter chocolate, decadent salted caramel, or velvety strawberry. There is a savory flavor for everyone to enjoy. Look for Prairie Farms single-serve bottles of flavored milk at your favorite grocery or convenience stores. Then visit prairiefarms.com for recipes and coupons. Support local dairy farmers and remember to drink local with Prairie Farms flavored milk.
Thank you for listening to EIU Football on these Panther Radio Network stations, WMKR, Genuine Country, 94.3 Pana, Taylorville, WTIM, the Big 870, 96.1, 107.5, 107.9 FM, Taylorville, and WHOW, the Big 1520, 92.3, and 106.5 FM, Clinton. Our next broadcast will be Saturday, September 6th, as the Panthers travel to Indiana State. Kickoff at 12 with the pregame at 11:30, right here on the EIU Panther Radio Network.
Finding a local job in Central Illinois has never been easier. Don't waste time driving far or spending too much on gas. Visit IllinoisJobPost.com. It's your one-stop site to find local, full-time, and part-time job openings. Best of all, it's completely free for job seekers to access anytime, day or night. So if you're ready to land a job close to home, make IllinoisJobPost.com your first stop. That's IllinoisJobPost.com. Brought to you by your friends at the regional radio station.
WTIM.
And we're back with the WTIM Pana Morning Show, brought to you by our title sponsor in People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, as well as Pana Save-A-Lot, Pizza Man, Noren's Hardware, Bob Riding's Pana, the Nokomis Dairy Queen Pana Bowl, and the Okanee Chop Shop. I'm your host, Grayson Bauman. Back around in this segment, we have Pana Police Chief Daniel Bland. We talked a little bit about the Tri-County Fair, the Labor Day Parade, stats from the month of July, and some recovery stories out there in the community. Now we'd like to turn our attention to some requests for information. Chief Bland, at this point, obviously you need the community. We just talked about that moments ago, but what are we looking for right now in this request for information out there?
Yeah, in particular, the couple areas where we've seen an uptick in a crime being committed, and it's not uncommon, but yet in a small community, we want to look for answers. We just over the last couple of months, the storage units we have here in town seem to be targeted by just a few individuals who seem to think that it's an easy way to get in, cut locks, take things. So we're asking for the public to report all hours, day and night, if they see people around. And it's hard to determine because people go into their storage units, getting things out, but yet to report if there's suspicious activity, people around, especially in the middle of the night when it's very uncommon for people to collect things from their storage units. But we've unfortunately had a few too many times where a lock's been cut on a couple of storage units here in town. We know actually who's doing it, just a matter of proving it. We've identified one subject in particular who's out on pretrial release for multiple offenses. Seems to be just waiting for his day in court to eventually be held accountable. But we want the public to report that. We've also had a couple of incidents down at the Kitchell Park, the restrooms. We've identified some juveniles that have been frequent in the restrooms. We've had some reported damage inside the restrooms. Seems to be just acts of just wanting to tear something up all of a sudden. And we've investigated those. We've identified some juveniles that. Just we have a great relationship with the public, but yet sometimes we hear, well, I didn't want to call or didn't want to bother, or they call the following day or call immediately. We're open all the time, and if you see suspicious activity, kids out horse playing in the parks, taco area, restroom area where it just seems out of the norm, don't hesitate to call us, and we'll pull some resources into that area and hopefully prevent a crime or maybe attack a certain area to locate someone that's involved in a crime, or frequenting them to that location can help us in an investigation. But those are some areas where we've had we've had to change some of our resources and tactics on trying to target those areas for sure.
Yeah, well, and we just talked about how quick the community can be to call, and so hopefully that message resonates. Hey, if you see something, let's make sure we report it. Well, we're just about out of time, Chief Bland. For those that are maybe seeing something out in the community, what would be the best way to call? Would you say 911, or would you say maybe the non-emergency line?
Yeah, I would say initially the non-emergency line, the Pana PD phone number, call that. But anyway, we have a lot of information shared through our social media account, private messenger. If you don't want to, call or don't want your name out there, any way to report to us, to direct us in an area, because then we can target our resources to that area and problem. And but we continually get information, tips regularly by our citizens supporting, because they see areas where there's problems. Sometimes we do our best to address the problems, and that's we need their support. Without them, it's definitely much harder to do.
As I can imagine. Well, Chief Bland, thank you so much for your time here today.
Hey, enjoyed it. Thank you. Have a good day.
You got it. Pana Police Chief Daniel Bland of the Pana Police Department here on the WTIM Pana Morning Show.